Hello, today we're going to be looking at programming with basic blocks in ESA Pro 2. If you haven't seen our introduction video or tutorial on importing and patching fixtures, you can find links in the description. I recommend watching these before you continue with this video. Once our fixtures have been patched in the Builder tab, we can move to Selections to begin programming. This will open up two new panels at the bottom of the window, My Project and Selected Scene. Using the My Project drop-down window, you can choose to add scenes, DMX sequences, or DALI sequences, and then add them using the plus button. It's important to pay attention to what zone you have selected when creating a scene, as it will only appear in that zone. You can copy and paste scenes between zones using the tools at the bottom. The Selected Scene panel is where you find the master timeline. When we start programming our blocks of DMX data, they will appear here. On the right side of the workspace, we'll find a number of effects, including pre-programmed dynamic effects. In this tutorial, we're only going to be looking at basic blocks. To begin, highlight the fixtures you wish to affect in the workspace. Now you can click and drag the basic block onto one of them. This will do two things. One, it creates a basic block in the master timeline. This is where all DMX data is stored. Two, it opens block properties on the right. This is where you're going to find the feature timeline. The feature timeline breaks down every channel of your selected fixture and assigns it a timeline. As I've selected an RGB fixture, I only have red, green, and blue channels available. If I now assign a basic block to a complex fixture, such as a moving head, you can see I have many more channels available. For the purpose of this tutorial, we're going to stick with a simple RGB fixture, but the concepts discussed here could be applied to complex fixtures as well. To begin programming on the feature timeline, we can press the plus button or expand the timeline. We can now use the slider to assign a value to this channel. If we double-click somewhere along the timeline, we create an automation point. We can move this point vertically to change the value and horizontally to change when the data reaches that value. You can add as many points as you wish to a feature timeline, creating automation curves to suit any project. As you can see on screen, I've created an effect that shifts from red to green to blue using a total of 7 automation points. If you right-click on a timeline, you can scroll down to Transition and choose from a number of pre-programmed automation curves. Underneath the individual channels of our fixture, you'll have 3 generic parameters that can be programmed: color, pan tilt, and dimmer. These are generic values that will appear no matter what fixture you're working with and can be programmed in the same way as other channels. If you select color from the generic parameters, you'll have a color picker appear. Using this picker, you can manipulate the sliders to get your desired color. If we click on the General tab, we can view information about the block. From here, you can easily change the block duration, start time, end time, and fade times. All of the DMX data we've created here is stored in the basic block we have on the master timeline. On the master timeline, we can expand our basic block to automate opacity, phasing, and saturation parameters. What I've shown here is only a very simple example of what's possible when you program using the basic block. You can use this function to create entirely custom effects, giving you complete control over every aspect of your fixture. Thanks for checking out this ESA Pro 2 tutorial. You can find more tutorials on our channel.